What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Cod Mellow TV channel. And today I'm going to show you guys how to overclock your GTX 1070 for the win card. Or maybe you got a GTX 1080 for the win card. Or maybe you just got a Titan X Pascal card, period. I'm going to show you how to overclock that. Now, I want to let you guys know for the start. If you have an AMD card, I don't want to waste your time. This video is not for you, so you might want to click out of it. Or maybe you could refer this video to somebody who actually has a Pascal card. This method is not going to work for you because this is on the Nvidia chipset. It's using EVGA Precision X, and you know that's the EVGA deals with Nvidia cards. So this video is not for you, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. But if you want to learn something, you can stick around. You can watch it. Like I said, if you want to refer to your friends, you can do that too. So first and foremost, I'm gonna go on Google. I'm gonna let you guys know if you don't have this program already, you can just type it in. So EVGA, it'll come up. You can type in, it'll come up as Precision, as you can see up there at the top. Click on that. The first link, all right, and it's gonna look like this. It's gonna ask you to sign up. So you want to do that. Just sign up, agree to terms, and then you want to click in here and download it. Pretty much what the reason why they want you to sign up and all that. I read some of it. They just want you to know that they're not responsible for any damages your graphics card sustained during the overclock. So if you don't know what you're doing, you may not want to fuck with this. But like I said, if you got these cards that I just mentioned, these settings that will work for you, they're battle tested, so you'll be all right. So just, agree to that, sign up, and then download your Precision X. You can also get this off of Steam as well. You just go on Steam, you type in Precision X overclock, and then you'll get the download like that as well. So now, assuming that you guys have it downloaded, all right, what you want to do now is I already have mine open, so I'm gonna just go ahead and click it. But you're gonna just open yours, just like so. All right. So now, first thing you're gonna see is all of these numbers, right? You're gonna see your GPU clock, you're gonna see your memory clock, you're gonna see your voltage, you're gonna see your temperatures. It may throw you off a little bit, but just relax. I'm gonna walk you through every single thing. Now, first things first, before you start doing any overclocks, what I want you to do is right-click. Go to NVIDIA Control Panel. The reason being is, for the default settings in your 3D settings, you're gonna have your power. You're gonna have your preferred power. It's gonna be optimal. You don't want that. You want your power management mode to be on maximum performance. So it's gonna be on optimal power by default. You want to change it to maximum performance. Obviously, I already have mine like that, so I already have it applied. But at the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a button that says apply and cancel. Just click apply and then close out of that. Next thing you want to do is you want to go, like, there's two ways you could do this, but this is the easiest way. But I am going to show you the other way too, just so you know that it's there. It's an option. This is another way you can overclock with the grid and everything like that. But see, this is with voltage. Okay, this also does voltage. We're not going to be touching any voltage in this video. That's why I said this is the easiest overclock you can get. When you start fucking with voltage, you could obviously go higher, but then you risk the chances of damaging your card if you don't know what you're doing. So I will be doing a video later on that, showing my overclocks with the voltage tampered with and getting higher clock speeds. But for now, we're just going to do the basic overclock. This is user friendly. Anybody could do this if you have this card or this chipset, the Pascal chipset, so you'll be fine. So starting off with the GTX 1070, because that's what I own. I have an SLI GTX 1070. Don't worry about the SLI. If you don't have SLI, don't worry about it. These settings are going to work for you just as well. All right. So first things first, we're going to go to GPU clock offset. As you see here, it's at 100, a plus 100 offset. Now, normally what you want to do is you want to just click on that. As you can see, the lines is blinking, so you can type. You just want to click 100, press enter. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. Click enter, and then you hit apply. You're going to do the same thing for the memory clock offset. Now, the reason why, to touch bases on it, the reason why I told you guys to put it on maximum performance, because as you see right now, my GPU is at the white line right now. So it's running at 1607 megahertz. So it's letting me know where it's at its base clock. See, now if I didn't have it on that and I had it on optimal power, it would be at 250 because it's idle. Now with K-Boost stresses your GPU. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but it's gonna click out the video. But before I do that, let me just continue explaining with the GPU clock and the memory clock offset and the numbers for that and how all of that works for the noobs out there. So with the GPU offset, we're giving a plus 100 offset to that, right? So now, whereas if I didn't have the overclock, the 100 offset, I would be getting a 1987 around there for my boost clocks. That's where the red line would be. And with the overclock, I'm getting 2050 megahertz. So that's pretty good. That's what the GTX 1080 gets out of the box. So for the for the win, that is. The GTX 1080 for the win out of the box gets a 2050 megahertz, gigahertz, however you want to say it, for their clock speed. So that's pretty good. So that's what I'm getting on this card right now, and that's what you guys will begin too if you use these settings. So the memory clock could go a lot higher than 100, but when I was doing my benchmarks in 3D Mark didn't want to accept my plus 400 offset for memory clock. So I want to touch bases on that as well. When you guys are doing overclocks, you want to make sure you battle test it. This is for people who have AMD cards or have other Nvidia cards that is not of the Pascal. Maybe you got a Haswell chipset. I mean, not a Haswell, but I forget. But you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you have anything other than the Pascal, you're gonna want to battle test it, and you want to go into your benchmarks and you want to start, testing your overclocks, because see, what you don't want is when you get into a game, you don't want to see artifacts. Artifacts is when you get those little checkered boxes and lines across your screen. That's when it's not stable. You don't want to be fucking with an unstable overclock because you could damage your card in the long run. So you want to make sure your card is stable. You want to make sure your overclocks are stable. You want to make sure your temperatures is good. And another thing too, I wanted to point out too, as you can see where it says my priority, by default, your priority is going to be on power target. Now, what I want you to do is click on that. As you can see, when you click on it, it moves. Just click on that and make sure it's on your temp target. The reason being is your GPU will never get that high. It'll never get to 83 degrees Celsius, so you'll never throttle. What is throttling? Throttling is when your GPU reaches a certain temperature, gets too hot, and to prevent it from overheating, it'll decrease its performance so that the temperatures will drop too. You don't want that, because when your performance drops, your frame rate drops, and you're just going to be an unhappy gamer. So make sure your temperature is at 83 degrees Celsius on here. It should be there by default if you have a GTX 1070. If you got a 1080, it's going to obviously be a little bit higher, as well as the power target. The power target will be much higher as well. So just make sure that you switch the priority down to 83 degrees Celsius and you'll be good. So that's how you overclock, without touching the voltage and everything like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit K boost to show you what my graphics card is running at. Okay, I'm back. Now the reason why the video cut out is because when you click K boost, it's gonna shut your graphics card off. The screen's gonna turn black, whatever. Don't worry, that's normal. It'll come back on. All it's doing is applying the stress. So pretty much what K boost does is stresses the GPUs and it makes it perform as if a game was running. So as you see here, I have a 2050 GPU clock, so 2050 megahertz, and I have a 4104 megahertz. So for memory clock, don't worry about that. That's not low. That's actually when it comes to RAM and memory and video memory, otherwise known as VRAM, it's on a multiplier. So you multiply that times 2. So you multiply 4104 times 2. So you'll get over 8,000 megahertz. That's what your clock speeds would be for your memory. So that's pretty good. Now, I'm going to tinker with this. I'm going to try to get my memory clock to go a plus 400 because I know it could go that high. I couldn't get it to stabilize in 3D Mark Time Spy and Fire Strike or whatever. So I'm going to mess with that. But for now, 100 is perfect. It's good. It's definitely stable for every game that I played, and every game, I mean every benchmark that I've tested it in, it's battle tested. I'm telling you, you will not get any artifact. You will not get any overheating. This overclock is perfect. As you can see now, I'm stressing it. My GPU temps didn't get above 44%, and I have 2 graphics cards. Keep that in mind. Normally, when you're dealing with when you have a SLI system, your cards get hotter than normal, because of the fact that you have 2 cards in there. And my cards are not being cooled by water, it's being cooled by air. The only thing that's being cooled by water in my system is my CPU. So that says a lot. So like I said, what you want to make sure you do also as well, you want to mess with your fan curve as well. Now that you're applying overclocks, your GPU is going to run a little bit hotter. So you want to make sure you you go into your settings. You come in here, your fan is going to obviously pop up right like that. So what you want to do is you want to enable automatic fan controls and just adjust it accordingly. When to adjust it, you just click on the boxes, and I don't want to mess up mine, so I don't really want to touch it. But yeah, you just adjust your fan curve, make sure you give it adequate cooling. When you're dealing with overclocks, you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit of noise ambience, so keep that in mind as well. It's not that bad, especially for me, being that I'm running 2 cards. The noise level doesn't reach a level of annoyance at all. No one can hear it. I can't even hear it when I'm gaming. When I'm playing with people online, the noise doesn't come through my mic and bother people, so it's perfectly fine. It's really quiet. Right now, as I'm recording this right now, talking to you guys, my computer's on, and you don't hear the fans at all. So, like I said, everything is battle tested. It's good. So, yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, almost forgot to mention, make sure you turn off K-Boost. K-Boost is not meant for you to boost game performance. It's only meant as a reference to see where your graphics card is at and to give you a general idea of how your graphics card is going to perform in game. So make sure you turn that off to prevent damaging your GPU in the long run. Other than that, I appreciate you guys stopping by the COD Mellow TV channel. If you liked this video, hit that like button. If you disliked it, hit that dislike button as well. But also subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future, and I'll catch you guys on my next video. Deuces!